Yo, what up, people? It's the ONEG, Double OD. It's your boy West, man. I'm back with another one. So, much like most of you, I watched the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, I guess you can say, fight last night. And I probably shared the same sentiment that a lot of you share. It just wasn't very good, you know? It was actually kind of disturbing to watch. It was like hard to watch, you know? There was a lot going on up to the fight. And there was a lot going on during the Netflix broadcast, mostly buffering and lagging and lowering of quality. But I mean, it is their first live event. They didn't expect 120 million people to watch it. So, I mean, it is what it is, you know. And then let's get into the elephant in the room. So, prior to the ring walkouts, there was an interview being conducted with Mike Tyson backstage, man. And after he's asked his questions by the interviewer, Mike Tyson walks off back into his locker room, and the camera pans to his backside, man. And they had this legend's whole, I guess for lack of a better term, man, they had Mike Tyson's whole bussy out, bruh. And I was like, man, what is this garbage, bro? Like, what is this? Like, why are we showing this? Where is this going? And then right then and there, I kind of knew there was, you know, it was just gonna be kind of a clown show. I mean, I knew it was gonna be that before, but I really was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be an absolute clown show at this point, man. That also, I got Mike Tyson on the screen playing an Undisputed event. That was an absolute, that was Mike Tyson right there. Yeah, I was getting down with him. But so prior to the fight, man, I would have had the homies, you know, I had people in the chat. A lot of y'all asked me like, yo, Wes, what do you think of the fight? What do you think of the fight? And I mean, exactly what I said to everybody was going to happen happened. Well, not exactly. Basically, prior to the fight, I was like, you know, Mike Tyson could come out strong for the first couple rounds. Then around round 3, he's going to get tired. He's going to hold his hands up and he's not going to throw any punches anymore. He's just going to gas out. And then from there, Jake Paul is going to just continue to start just wailing on him and beating him, and it's going to get ugly. And that's kind of what happened. But Mike Tyson didn't get tired in round 3. He got tired in round 2. And Jake Paul had enough decency, if you want to use that word, for him even getting into this fight. He had enough decency to not go in there and just absolutely destroy Mike Tyson. You know, he could have knocked him out in the second round. But I said it before, Jake Paul, he's going to lose a lot of respect from a lot of people for this. But he would have lost all respect, even from some of his fan base, had he went in there and he knocked out a 60-year-old man, especially a beloved icon like Mike Tyson. Also, I want to hit on prior to that fight, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, which was the best fight by far of the night. A lot of y'all saying Amanda Serrano, she got robbed, and you will be correct in that. She got absolutely robbed. Even with the cut over her eye that Katie Taylor's pumpkin-sized head caused, and she kept targeting it with her head, she still managed to pull out a win, in my opinion. But you know how boxing goes sometimes. Sometimes the judges don't know what they're looking at, man. And it's a shame that fans of the sport can kind of identify better, you know, how a fight went than the actual judges who get paid to do it do. So what overall was I thinking at the time? I remember texting my dad at the time, and I was like, you know, he said to me, he's like, Tyson's about to get knocked out. I'm like, is it just gross? You know, it's like, it's prior to it, you know, you had your thoughts about how ridiculous it was, but once you see it on screen, you know, once you're watching it in HD and you got the surround sound and all this, and you just like, hold up, something just feels weird about this. You know what I mean? Like, it won't hit in like it was supposed to. It was just disgusting to watch, you know. And shame on Jake Paul for doing this, man. Like, I get money, you know, it's nice to have money and all these things, but at what cost? You know what I mean? At what cost? Like, you have plenty already, but I guess you can never have enough, you know. And Jake Paul, you know, you could tell he was holding back. Mike Tyson landed a couple shots to him, but none that was really ever. I mean, Jake Paul didn't get hurt or nothing or stunned or anything. It didn't happen the entire time. Jake Paul also is very clearly on some type of performance enhancers. He has a lot of acne on him. His jaw is huge. He has his beard to cover his massive jaws that's caused by steroid usage. And if you don't think that, then you need to do some research, man. Jake Paul is clearly on some type of performance enhancing drugs. And I mean, it is what it is. He has talent. He has a gifted right hand, especially the overhand right, which he could have landed at any point in that fight and absolutely killed Mike Tyson. But you know, it is what it is in that regard. Who's Jake's next fight? I've seen talks about him fighting who's that guy? Tank Davis. He's been talking about fighting Tank Davis. Tank Davis is 130 pounds. Jake Paul's 230 pounds. However, Tank Davis would beat Jake Paul. He wouldn't hurt him, but he would beat him. That overhand right is not going to land at all, and that's really all Jake Paul has in his arsenal. If Ryan Garcia couldn't land his left hook on Tank, Jake Paul has no chance of landing that overhand right. I've seen him talking about him fighting Conor McGregor, which would be hilarious. I don't know what weight they would fight at, but that would be entertaining. Bringing Conor out of retirement, I'm sure he would probably do it. Yeah, I don't think he has no reason not to. So I'm fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd would just totally outclass him like he did his brother. Floyd is slow. He's old. He's a grandfather as well. So I mean, it's not gonna be vintage Floyd, but it's still, his mind is still intact and his body is still good enough to where he would just dance circles around the ring on Jake Paul if he chose to. And of course, they're talking about bigger names like a Alvarez and a Better Beef. Alvarez is probably a better fight for Jake Paul than a Better Beef, because Better Beef, in his culture, they don't play that, bruh. Like, he's gonna go in there and he's gonna get you out of there. He's not gonna play with you. It's not gonna be a circus for him. You know, it's gonna be a real fight for him. Canelo would actually be a fight that Jake Paul could take, because Jake Paul is a character. You know, he can lose to a Canelo Alvarez and come right back and do what he's doing. You know, he can get embarrassed and still come back and make a bag. He doesn't need an undefeated record in order to get people interested in watching him, because people would just want to see him get beat up. And even if he gets beat up, people are gonna want to see him get beat up again. And it'll be an easy payday for Canelo Alvarez. So that might be a possibility. And of course, Jake Paul has the option of digging up any dead fighter, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Tommy Morrison, those guys, and fight them. At this point, it's not really below him to do that. So anyways, man, overall the fight was kind of gross, man. As you can see, I got some good work with Mike Tyson on Undisputed. I wish he was in the game. He'd be fun to use, but he also be broken. And shout out to Mike Tyson, man. Still a legend, still one of the most exciting fighters of all time, and he got a mean $20 million bag, so I can't be mad at that. But anyways, man, if you enjoyed this one, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and comment down below what you thought of the fight, if you share the same feelings that I did, and I'll get back with you on the next one. I'm out. It's the ONEG, OOD. It's your boy Wes. Peace.